And hello and well, it's sort of early evening here in the southern tier of upstate New York. It's 5:45 p.m. Here in the southern tier of upstate New York, where I live and reside. Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich here on the Rumble, broadcasting out to locals, YouTube, and Twitch. Fireman Rich on locals, Fireman Rich on Twitch, at Richard M. Roberts on YouTube there. And as you can see from the logo here, we're getting ready to launch a rocket. Our return to the moon, in a matter of speaking, a 10-day mission that's going to take take 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, to do a flyby on the moon there. And it's the first time. It's what 52 years, 3 months, and 16 days since we've been to the moon. I guess the last time we were at the moon was Apollo 17. Wow, that's a long time ago. Long time ago. What was that? 1972. I was still in grade school. Was it junior high? No, I was still in grade school. For Christ's sakes. It's like I was in junior high, I think. But I'm excited about this, primarily because there's something that is on that spacecraft, the Orion spacecraft, that's on top of the what do we got here? Hang on for a minute. The Artemis 2. That's the spacecraft that's going to be launched by the Artemis 2 rocket. Sort of reminds me of the way it's orange and stuff. It's a Saturn, like the Saturn V rocket. Remember that? No, you couldn't remember that. And it's like people weren't even born back then. But anyway, I am a space nut, and there is something of unique. I'm technically virtually going on to the mission itself, because prior to this mission, I think it was a year ago, they have NASA has a thing where you can send in your name, and your name gets put on with like a million other names on a little chip. And my name is on, I think, 3 of the 4 Mars rovers, and I have let's see, where is that? Let's see, that's the Artemis. Oh, okay. Here's the ticket. There's the ticket. This indicates my name is on that little chip that they have this like cloth ball type thing that's going to be floating around. I guess I'll be looking for it in the mission. That chip was inserted in the ball there, but it's part of the flight. So my name is on this particular flight, and this is the NASA receipt that they gave me. I guess the Q code goes to you can be part of their thing on their webpage, but I do my own thing here. But this is my name is on that little chip with all the rest of the names that were submitted to NASA that we're going along for the ride. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And but this is a return for well, let me get this back up here. Return for the U.S. and humanity, in that case, to go back to the moon. Like I said, it's pretty exciting. This is going to be, I think it's a 1-orbit flyby, but once they get there, it's going to be such a wide orbit. They're going to be going out to the backside of the moon, and they'll be probably seeing parts of the moon that have never been seen before, even by the Apollo, in a manner of speaking. Apollo missions and stuff. But they're going to be this will be the furthest spacecraft that's ever ventured out into space because of that orbit that they're going to make. So let me see. Let me bring up. Let's see. What do we have? We got. Let's see. I got mission control. I've got several shots here. And here's the current shot that we have. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to share. Hang on for a minute. Let me get that. Bring this back up here on the share. And hey, Tina, how we doing? Tina's in Jersey Girls here, and wow, I know Wow, I knew astronaut Chip Rich. Yeah, you knew me. Yeah, it's just my name. It's typed onto a card, but my name is flying in the mission. So along with probably a million others there, Tina. Glad to have you here. We're just getting started here. We're probably less than an hour. I'm trying to bring up a, a feed here. So let me see if I can get this here. The current status there as far as the Artemis 2. And let's see, where am I at here? I usually do this on a, um, okay, here we go. And there's the Artemis right there. Artemis 2 on the pad, ready for launch. The astronauts are tucked away. You can see the venting from the fuel there, the liquid oxygen. And let me get rid of this here. And we're down to an hour and 30. No, that's not right. Let me refresh this video. I don't think that's correct. Let me bring that up to current speed. There we go. We're down to 32 minutes. 32 minutes and counting as far as that goes. And that's the current. Oh, I got to do this on all of them. Oh, okay. That's interesting. We have people that are they're talking about the mission as far as that goes. And let's see, refresh that. Okay. We got some commentators going on. And but there's the Artemis 2 rocket. And then right at the top, that's the Orion Spacecraft. That's right at the top there, as far as that goes. And the 4 astronauts are waiting. Now, the thing of it is, it's set, it's sort of misconceiving, but the 6:24, that doesn't mean it's going to launch right at 6:24 Eastern time. That opens up the 2-hour window that they can launch. Okay, so I think they're going to try and go for right there, but if something happens, they might have to put it on hold. So there is a 2-hour window starting at 6:24 to get this rocket launched. And but that's the launch is right now is on track for 31 minutes and 20 seconds at this point. And so there we have that as far as that goes. Let's see. Tina said good on that. And Twitch wasn't working. My Twitch is working. Tina, I don't know. Go ahead and reset it and stuff like that. So you're on you probably got a better picture on YouTube anyway and stuff. My Twitch is working. I'm broadcasting on Twitch, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's see. How come that is so large? That is large. Wow. Let me bring that down a little bit. Let me bring that down to like there. Let's see what that looks like. How's that? Okay, that's better. That was a little bit too big there. But we have the big screen on in the background, and again, this is a manned space mission on the Artemis 2. There was Artemis 1 went up last year. Now I think Artemis 3, which will be the next mission, probably within the next year, will be in orbit around the Earth to test the landing mechanisms that they will be flying out to the moon. I think SpaceX and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, those are the 2 space contractors that have landing vehicles for the moon. And the final moon mission won't be until the actual landing is in 2020. It was projected at 2028. Okay, it told me to close the app. That it wasn't responding. Yeah, you might have to reboot. If it's on your phone, you might have to reboot the phone there, Tina, as far as that goes. Let's see if we can get some commentary here. We got some launch officials. And let's go ahead and bring this up here and see what they're talking about. Okay, here we go.
Day mission with the Artemis 2 crew. But here we are, 32 minutes, 50 seconds and counting from the opening of our launch window. Feels really, really surreal here as more and more people come to gather on the press site lawn here at Kennedy Space Center. Why don't we take a look at this video that we have here? Some familiar faces who wanted to wish our Artemis 2 crew a safe journey.
Okay, I'm not sure what this is about.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, you are the real deal. You're flying to the moon for all of us, and we are in awe. You're the true heroes.
You were not just astronauts; you were pioneers.
Okay,
venturing
these are
deeper
all
into
actors and stuff. So we're gonna go to let's see. Let's go to this one here. I'm not too hip on actors and stuff like that. We're here for the space launch. I don't need to see actors and stuff. We wish them all well. Wish them all well, as far as that goes. And Tina says, "Okay, it told me to close the app." Okay, we already got that. Okay, yeah, I already posted that up there. So the mission itself, it was back on December 16th, 1972. At 2335, the Apollo 17 Commander module, America, successfully completed its transatlantic injection burn, sending the crew of NASA astronauts on a return trajectory to the moon. The moment marked the final time a crewed Apollo spacecraft was in orbit. And since that moment, no crew spacecraft has ever ventured to the moon. So this is the first one to venture back, as far as that goes. NASA's Artemis 2 mission, the first crew mission under the agency of Artemis Lunar Exploration Program, is scheduled to launch here in we got 28 minutes and 15 seconds from Launch Complex 39 Bravo at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and starting off at 6:24, the Orion CM003 spacecraft, named Integrity. That's the space capsule that they're in. That's known as Integrity, with its 4-person crew riding atop the Space Launch System, the SLS rocket. Artemis 2 will initially be injected into a high Earth orbit for systems checks before performing a translunar injection, a TLI they call it, burn to travel to the moon. Orion's TLI burn will place the spacecraft on a 10-day free return trajectory around the moon, bringing it within 6,513 kilometers to the lunar surface at closest approach. Unlike NASA's Apollo missions from 1960 and 1970, Artemis 2 will not enter orbit around the moon. Instead, it will perform a flyby that will see the spacecraft travel farther than the moon's orbit. At its furthest point from the Earth, an apogee, Integrity crew will set the record for the furthest any humans have ever traveled on this planet. So that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked about that, as far as that goes. And let's see what we got here. And let's see, we got the NASA director is on. So let's go back to that and see what he has to say.
Space. Well, you know what's another strong number 2 on that one? It's number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween, so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the 4 astronauts on top of Artemis 2 know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now. So getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash splashdown off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities. And everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis
that's
2,
something I didn't know.
Artemis 3 is
splash
coming
down
up
in the
next year.
Pacific.
When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB,
I want to
we're
say
going to start
welcome
stacking.
to the two people
Wow, plenty of
from
excitement
Rumble,
ahead of
one
us.
person on
Jared
Locals,
Isaacman,
two
thank you so
people
much
on
for being
YouTube,
here.
and one
Thanks for
person
being
on
here.
Of
Twitch.
course.
Thank
All
you for
right.
being
And with
here
that, let's get back
for
to the
this launch
countdown with
party
NASA's
of the
Megan
launch
Cruz.
of Artemis 2
Under
and the
25
Orion
minutes and counting
Spacecraft
from the
integrity
opening of our
on its
2-hour launch
mission
window. And
Flyby
take a look at all these
around
people
the
behind
moon.
us.
10-day
I
mission.
literally,
We have
every moment I
24
turn
minutes
around and I see the clock,
40
I am like,
seconds
oh,
to go.
wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and less time.
Yes, exactly, which is a great problem to have.
Yes.
Now, this first is with the 250th anniversary of our country's founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay. For 250 years, America has carried the light of humanity forward. But American exceptionalism isn't inherited, it's earned. Our greatness comes not only from what we've done, but what we're still determined to discover. Because in every era, across every horizon, America is at its best when it's reaching for something greater. America celebrates 250 years, and we are leading the world into the future.
To NASA's boldest test flight in a generation. The crew has said this often, that they hope it inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad. So tell me what color it is. Orange. And you're going to be on that rocket. We're going to be on that rocket.
I could make it a little bit longer. Did you see it? Okay, so everybody's looking at the rocket because it is kind of cool and impressive. One of the coolest things happening over there right now, though, is it's on top of a giant tractor.
Doesn't all food come in like tubes? It's in these like little plastic bags. You have to like rehydrate it.
And you can see on the lower right picture, those are the astronauts that are in the Orion Spacecraft. Two above and two below.
She had a question. She
Brand new space capsule. Compared to the Apollo, they have a little bit more room.
I forgot.
Not that much, but they do have a lot more elbow room. Apollo missions had 3 astronauts. So we have 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian.
Go Artemis!
These two? Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut back there. It's just so fun to see the enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement, and even
Now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special
Down
to
to
be able
20 minutes
to
and counting.
witness something
20
like
minutes,
this together.
folks.
Yeah, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and it's amazing. People from all around the world came here today to Florida to watch. So it's something. It's hard to put into words just how much support for this mission we're seeing today.
And great news too. Remember, the team was tracking an issue with the launch abort system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue. So we are go for launch.
Yes, it's exciting.
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis 2 crew sitting right there inside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window, and right now we are targeting the top of that launch window. So we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow, I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Yeah, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams here on the ground that made this happen. They are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And it's the crew likes to say they want to be the shoulders that the next generation.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001.
I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule, integrity, representing humility and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them. And we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B, with Orion and SLS poised.
As we count down now, we are getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window, and that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window, that they cannot launch. And these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis 1 when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for comm check.
Good, comm. Tell me.
I hear the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA test director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints, but we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA test director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure AR.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, RS1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with Sea Ice and with MER Manager regarding the observation the Sea Ice had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER Manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a Sea Ice or MER Manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration is complete.
Copy.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
GLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of counts. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
CVSE OTC. CVSE 400-290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent.
Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming.
Copy.
NTD, COSE, hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004. S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13, it is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this is transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit. So I guess the question for COSC, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
Yes, ma'am, that's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Okay, Tina, I see that. I'm all set. Eating my honey beer grams and watching. Okay, thank you for the one. That's a good one. Yeah, we're down to. It might not launch right away.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the data right here. It looks like that was a single sample.
But we're looking at. We're hearing folks.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
Again, I want to thank the third. We have 3 viewers on Rumble.
While we're doing that, these are 1/10
locals,
measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second.
Thank you very much for joining this watch party and seeing our.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Our 4 astronauts on the Artemis.
Yeah, so from our perspective,
Orion
the allowance
spacecraft.
is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSC, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
So we're currently holding at 10 minutes. So they can.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable and per the requirement. Let's go.
Copacetic and ready to go.
Houston flight, we have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSC.
And KUS is reported to they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay. LPE, you concur with that?
Yes, sir. LPE concurs go.
And Launch Director?
Yes, sir. Launch Director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, Launch Director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, yeah, you only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete.
Copy.
Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all of your work?
That's affirmed. That's affirmed.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And Launch Director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis II launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
OTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
CO's go.
Safety console.
The safety console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston flight.
Houston flight is go.
Rock.
Rock is go.
And CDR.
Crew is go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll. Attention on the net. This is the Launch Director performing the final poll for launch. Verify no constraints and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMTs go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
Good to hear your voice, Charlie. PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity. All right, Charlie, your Artemis 2 crew is go for launch. Full send.
I copy that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis 2. Let's go. And NTD Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Your risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSE NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy. Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes. Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
SNA arm rotation enable complete.
We're going to start that clock.
Copy that. Thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory. It was very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching. Impressive work by the launch team. So we have a 2-hour window, which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time and goes until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
And ECL NTD will be waiting for your verification on the short purge.
ECL copies.
And for all personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count. ECL time estimate?
About a minute.
Copy.
So we're going into the launch window, but not by much, it looks like. Just wrapping up some final work. And once that's completed, you'll hear NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding ask for the ground launch sequencer operator to go ahead and start the clock. The ground launch sequencer is an application software. It runs on top of the launch control system in the firing room, acts like a conductor of an orchestra, executing hundreds of commands in precise order and timing. It's all autonomous.
Entity CCL 212, short purge initiations verified.
All right, copy that. And we're verifying our constraints. All right, and we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis 2.
Nine minutes.
From now on, you're going to hear two voices on the loops.
Excited here, folks.
If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding, who's directly managing the launch team, and Alex Bendelos, the GLS operator who closely monitors the software. He has the ability to stop and restart the countdown. A lot of people ask about whether there's a launch button. There certainly is not.
Flight and Rock, our new T0 is 22:35:12.
Houston flight copies.
Rock copies.
22:35:12.
Affirm.
There you heard confirmation of the exact T0,
6:35
and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again,
brotherly love,
our T0 is 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m.
8 minutes
Eastern Time.
And 40 seconds and
But as I was saying, there's no launch button. This is autonomous. But there is a button that keeps you from launching, and that button allows the GLS operator to pause the countdown outside of terminal count and during terminal count and submit a hold to the next holding point. So the clock won't stop right away. If there's an issue, we'll go to the next stable holding point. This is how GLS configures the rocket and ground systems to a stable point where they can stop the countdown if that's needed. But right now, we are counting down. Our next big milestone, looking to retract the crew access arm.
GLS is go for crew access arm retract.
And there you see the crew access arm moving away. That's the path that the astronauts took to ingress into the rocket. Until this point, that was their way off the pad if they needed to evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to a launch abort system, and they'll begin arming that shortly. Of course, the launch abort system, great shot there of the crew access arm retracting away. The launch abort system is the tower at the top, and that's what would pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety hardware that protects the lives of the astronauts. Starting at T-minus 6 minutes, the GLS will start bringing that and other high energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization. Weather is 90% go. The range is go. All systems are go.
GLS is go for core stage tank pressurization.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank. We'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count. Now the team is waiting for verification that, if needed, the Artemis 2 crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
GLS verifies last capability available.
And CDR, do you copy?
CDR copies, last available.
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay, so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety first.
GLS is go for LH2 high flow bleed check.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units, high-speed turbines, which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen. Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're listening for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture out of there.
GLS is go for purge sequence 4.
Moving through the milestones. All is looking good. Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines. There are the 4 RS-25s.
You should see them move.
Shuttle Heritage, one of them built from...
Yep, they're moving a little bit.
Shuttle parts.
There they are.
And there you see them moving.
They're gimbaling.
Now we're going to start moving the power from both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal, taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
Coming up on 2 minutes.
GLS is go for upper stage to internal power.
Under 2 minutes now, folks.
All right, power is removed from the rocket's upper stage, the ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis 2 crew is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
One minute.
1 minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that could come from of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS is go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Wow, there they go.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone. Mission Control Houston saying good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission.
We're going supersonic,
Integrity is 14
folks.
miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. One minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Those are the side rockets, assisted Artemis.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
And it got up there quick. Got up there quick.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
And that's what they're called, fairings, the fairing rockets.
3 minutes into the flight. Integrity, 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange.
Look at that shot.
Now passing 5,000 miles per hour. Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tigris at the Carmen line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen crossed the boundary to space with good comm checks. GPS signals acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
They're off and going. They're in space. That quick. Wow.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding,
Exactly,
Stan. We see the
Captain
same,
Rehab.
and we have
Oh
a
my
beautiful
God,
moonrise.
we're back
We're
in
headed right
space.
at it.
Unfreaking real. What a rocket.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed Wiseman confirms he has visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Exactly that, Captain Rehab. Exactly what.
Integrity,
yes,
3
this is
engine
wild.
press.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark. Integrity, 78 miles in altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Six minutes 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds into the flight. Seven minutes of mission elapsed time. Throttling down as we approach the abort once around option. Milestone at the 7-minute 30-second mark. Now 84 miles in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, AOA
15,000 miles per hour. I was just checking the real time for where the International Space Station is. It's flying over
the window is
Pacific
now open for an abort once
so
around option that would target splashdown in the Pacific Ocean. Still following nominal ascent at this time.
So Orion is ahead of the space station now.
About 10 seconds remaining until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
Integrity and nominal MECO, core stage separated.
We see the same on board, Stan.
8 minutes, 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the Inner Rim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft.
There's Orion. It's on its own. Integrity.
9 minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
Integrity Houston, looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
Copy that, Stan. Numbers for the pad.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster ignition. That time being 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
Okay, there's okay. Not sure where they let's see. Here we go. Great picture, animation. And Captain Rehab with an oh my god. Yeah, oh my god, they're up there. They're in orbit. That quick. I just like this is pretty exciting, you know, because this is you're talking by comparisons, they're in a higher orbit right now than say the SpaceX's crewed rocket. What I can't even think of. I'm so excited that we've got a U.S. space mission going on right now. First one in some 52 years. The Dragon spacecraft there from SpaceX. That goes into lower. This isn't supposedly this isn't a higher orbit, and so. But let's see. Right now, there's a picture of the now vacant launch pad, and okay, Captain Rehab, thank you very much for being here for the launch. As I concur with what you're saying, Godspeed to the what do we got going here? Godspeed to the Orion Integrity crew, and they are the Orion spacecraft now, and the Artemis 2 got them up there, and that's freaking great as far as that goes. And so thank you, Captain Rehab, for being here. Have a great evening there. And thank you for your view there, my friend. And he's giving a couple of emojis. There we go. Captain Rehab from the city of Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. And so currently, oh, shoot. There we go. Okay. There we go. We're back. Okay. Look at that shot. Oh, my God.
to verify the
Look at this
systems
shot,
that will take
folks.
us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis 2 is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get Integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous
Mission
to
Control
hear
in
how
Houston
the
has
launch
taken
experience
over,
was over on the Space Coast.
Control.
Yeah, Gary, for people are
mission.
just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis 2 lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears.
All right, Tina, thank you. Welcome. Yeah, it's off. I'm going to be on here just listening to this, and Tina saying good night to her captain nephew. So there we go. We've been on for about an hour now. We're just going to see what happens here as we're continuing to listen in on NASA feed of the launch of the Artemis 2, and has placed the Orion Spacecraft Integrity with 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian, are now in Earth orbit. Let's go back to here and give this a listen.
They see parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what a great start to what could be all of these milestones that we break in just a 10-day mission.
Yes, what a way to welcome in the Artemis generation.
Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots we were covering of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth falling away as we continued up into our ascent, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young and old, just emotional, overcome by this history-making moment.
Man, we are going back to the moon for all, and we saw that today. We saw that in all the crowds. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised this launched on the first try, because we know, like any little thing, we have to be keeping safety in mind, and we want to make sure we're ready to go. But we were ready to go, and I think it surprised a lot of people. What a wonderful surprise on this Wednesday evening.
It did, and it kind of surprised me as well. But it's just a testament to the team here that has been working so hard on Artemis. Artemis 1, we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton from the wet dress for Artemis 2. We were able to go in, fix those things. We even had a couple mishaps today, not mishaps, but a couple, anomalies today that the team creatively came up with solutions for. It's just a testament to the teamwork that gets us to the moon.
And so we can continue to watch Christina, Reed, Victor, and Jeremy on their way now to the moon in Earth's orbit, and awaiting the next in-flight milestones, deploying Orion's solar arrays. So why don't we get back in with Mission Control and Gary.
Hey, thank you, Megan. Again, we're following along in the action. It is a long day. They have a number of procedures they need to get to immediately in their timeline.
And Integrity Houston, cross-tie is on board per the ETSI-DEM.
We copy, Houston. Thank you.
Cross-tie referring to flight controllers here initiating a connection between some of the batteries aboard the Orion spacecraft, allowing for an even distribution of power. This is the flight control teams that took us through ascent of the Artemis 2 mission today. Right now we're, as you see, passing 18 minutes of mission elapsed time. The Orion spacecraft Integrity and the interim cryogenic propulsion system are maneuvering tail to sun. It is in this orientation, this attitude.
Integrity anywhere until not momentary prop caution.
And Reed, no action. We're looking at it.
Commander Reed Wiseman verifying what is being routed to his displays aboard Integrity. Propulsion engineer confirming that no action is needed at this time. They're pressing through with their nominal procedures to prepare for the perigee raise maneuver. And of course, the solar array wing deploy ahead of that. The solar wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. A successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power is a significant milestone and says to the flight control teams that we will continue on today's mission. Power needs to be drawn to continue through some of the next milestones. And the AOA open option that was called up upon ascent, the aboard once around, is the current option, and the board to orbit option ATO will be switched to a preferred mode at the time that the solar array wings are deployed and latched. It gives the flight control teams a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, Integrity Houston, update on TDRS handover for your pad.
Give us just 1 minute. And Stan, you can read it. Ike is ready to copy.
Roger. TDRS handover east to west expected 1 second earlier at 5:1 minutes 26 seconds.
Hi, Stan. We copy 1 second earlier for 5126 TDRS east to west, and saws are starting to deploy. Thermal knives are firing.
We concur. Thanks for the report.
Read back of the reports that you just heard on the Orion to Earth network. Integrity has maneuvered tail to sun. The RL-10 nozzle on the end of the ICPS is pointed towards the sun, and the solar array deployment sequence has begun. With the deployment confirmed, it'll be several minutes until they are what is called in a latched position. Once they are latched and confirmed to be drawing power, they can switch the mode to ATO and continue along the mission. The teacher's handover at the pad, that message meant the crew was provided some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles above the Earth, they are in a near-Earth network communication system. The tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are stationed about 23,000 miles above the Earth. After the apogee raise burn that occurs later today, the burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
And Integrity, for prop messages, we see 2 temperature measurements right near the line. It's that momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and heater 1 T1. They're going suppressed.
Integrity, thank you. We see the same.
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. This is after a launch that began at 5:35 and 12 seconds Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our aero visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the spacecraft and puts it into a model so you can follow along on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they look fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on.
Copy O2 sensors.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays. And we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first burn of the ICPS engine, the perigee raise maneuver.
Integrity Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
Yeah, we're almost there in the procedure stand, and we see the same thing.
And Integrity Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum.
And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET.
Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
And Houston Integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
This is Mission Control Houston, 25 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of Artemis 2. We have confirmation that all 4 solar array wings are deployed and latched. This is the configuration needed to switch to ATO preferred, which you did hear confirmed from pilot Victor Glover. That mode has been switched. There's also a discussion with Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman about the alignment of the MET clocks on the Orion spacecraft and the ICPS. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed the clocks are in sync, no issues. They're going to investigate it on the ground. We're proceeding with today's mission. 26 minutes of mission elapsed time and counting. This is Mission Control Houston. We're approaching 28 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. At this point, we've had a successful liftoff from the pad at 5:35 p.m. and 12 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. We've had a good main engine cutoff, core stage separation, and a good trajectory to begin today's mission. Right now, the spacecraft has maneuvered tail to sun. We're standing by for another maneuver to maneuver into the burn attitude. This is where the RL-10 engine of the ICPS is pointed in the correct orientation for the perigee raise maneuver. We did hear confirmation that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition has been confirmed per the pad, which means it was the predicted time prior to liftoff.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
Capcom Stan Love reading up to the crew of Integrity. They will switch the navigation source from channel 1, standing by for confirmation that that switch has occurred. Pilot Victor Glover will receive confirmation when, and as at least watching to confirm that that switch has occurred. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that we're heading towards, not too long from now, we're actually inside 20 minutes at this time from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. We did have a successful deployment and launched of all 4 solar array wings. This is the configuration needed to commit. Orbit and hit the target for the apogee raise burn. That will put them in a high Earth orbit for the remainder of the day and set them up for the right position to execute the translunar injection and head to the moon tomorrow. The burn duration of the perigee raise maneuver is 26 seconds. It's a relatively short burn, but it does raise the perigee and do the job to get into the correct position before firing that main engine on the ICPS. The pad had a TGERS handover. This is the tracking and data relay satellites. East to west, they are geosynchronous satellites that are positioned around the globe. And as Orion makes its way around the Earth right now, above the west coast of Africa, at an altitude of about 923 statute miles and counting. The perigee raise maneuver is not executed at the perigee. It is rather executed on the, actually closer to the apogee. But what it does is it raises the perigee on the other end of the orbit to 100 nautical miles. The 26-second duration burn does not conflict with the time that they've reported of the tracking and data relay satellite handover from TGERS east to west. Again, geosynchronous satellites that are used not only by Integrity today, but the International Space Station as well. That time of handover is 51 minutes, 26 seconds. Plenty of margin before the perigee raise maneuver cutoff happens, and the trajectory is analyzed to see whether it was a good burn. A good burn means that the burn was performed as expected and sets the trajectory on course for that 100 nautical mile perigee target mark. Again, for those sticking with us on NASA Plus and following along on our coverage, we will continue to follow and to cover the mission until, actually, we'll continue to cover the mission 24/7. But we'll wrap up our coverage here shortly And now that solar array wing deployment has occurred on NASA Plus and Amazon Prime, again, we will continue coverage 24/7 at the NASA YouTube channel. For those that want to see all of the upcoming milestones, there are select times where we will be coming back to NASA Plus and other streaming platforms. You can go to nasa.gov to find the latest on when to find those activities. Given that this is an operational mission, we do want to make sure that we are maintaining transparency in the mission and providing you all the information on what's happening in space as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen head on their mission around the moon. Inside Integrity at this time, again, the solar array wings have deployed. The Integrity is maneuvering to its burn attitude ahead of the execution of the perigee raise maneuver. Overseeing these steps is primarily done by Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen focusing on some of the system activation inside of Orion, namely the environmental and control and life support systems. The activation and checkout of some of these critical systems are very important to continuing on the mission, making sure that those systems are in a good condition and in a reliable condition to provide the necessary environmental and control needs of the crew, with humans on board through the duration of the mission that extends 10 flight days. Standing by for an update to the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition. Should be right up to the crew very shortly.
Integrity Houston, updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
All right, Houston, we are ready to copy.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes, 48 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 26 seconds.
49, 48, TIGO 26.
This is Mission Control Houston. With that update, we are approaching a little more than 13 minutes from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. That time updated to be 2 seconds earlier was 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time. Will now move to 49 minutes, 48 seconds. The duration of the burn, that's what was referred to as the TGO, will still remain at 26 seconds. Relatively short duration burn, again, just raises the perigee of the orbit today. Making sure they hit the mark on that time of ignition is the primary concern of Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen inside activating those environmental control and life support systems. At this time, all 4 crew members are wearing the launch and entry suits.
Integrity Houston, for Optimus on the PCD, we have time update instructions when you're ready.
And Houston, Integrity, we copy. Hands are pretty busy at this time. I think we will call you back when we're ready for that.
All right, that one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM attitude.
We are watching and concurred. 90 seconds maybe.
Pilot Victor Glover confirming that maneuver less than 2 minutes. Again, that the point of that maneuver is to point the main engine of the ICPS, the RL-10 engine, in the proper orientation to execute that 26-second burn. It needs to point in the correct position to achieve the goal of raising the perigee to 100 nautical miles. You heard some of the environmental control system activations over Orion to Earth. Jeremy Hansen activated the O2 sensors. They'll be measuring the cabin of Orion. During all of the activations here on the ground in Mission Control Houston, Flight Director Judd Freeling is doing a poll with all flight controllers in the room to see if we are in a go position to go ahead and execute the perigee raise maneuver. Once concluded, Stan Love will report it back up to the crew, and we'll stand by for that.
Integrity Houston, MCC polls go for PRM pending attitude and saws.
Okay, we copy. MCC is go. Maneuver starting.
Minutes of mission elapsed time. The maneuver to the burn attitude has begun. The maneuver also is paired with reorientation of the solar array wings that have been deployed. They will have various positions throughout the duration of the flight. Of course, solar array is meant to maximize the draw of power from the sun. So when deployed, we're in a biased solar array wing configuration that was called solar normal. This allows for the greatest surface area of the solar array wings to be drawing power and powering up those batteries of integrity, of which a cross-tie was enabled between the four batteries, the four battery buses that are inside of Orion. However, for the perigee raise maneuver, the solar array wings will be put into a position to take on the loads imparted by the ICPS main engine when they execute the 26-second burn. You can see in the animation here, the solar array wings are in motion, and the attitude is being reconfigured to point the engine in the correct direction, those solar array wings being pointed forward.
Hey, welcome to Wandering Australian from Brisbane, Australia, where it's currently 5:17 a.m. in the morning there. Good morning, Wandering Australia. Yes, we have. I think it's coming over in your location right now from the last I heard. On your side of the world, we have the Orion Spacecraft. They deployed their solar. And yes, ground control to Major Tom. Hope you're having a great morning there. Good morning, mate.
You're getting a live look inside the Artemis 2 mission flight control room. The team you see here oversaw the ascent of our 4 5 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern. Occupied 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with flight controllers shifting on 3 shifts to oversee 24/7 operations of Artemis 2 while in flight. We will cover that live on the NASA YouTube channel, and we'll be covering that around the clock as we begin to wrap up our coverage here on NASA Plus. Before I do want to send it over to our colleagues at the Kennedy Space Center. And to my colleagues, it was a pleasure to join the teams at the Kennedy Space Center and be a part of such a historic launch. Here in Houston, again, we're turning our attention to the mission. And for now, we'll say farewell and thank you to our colleagues there for today's launch coverage. We'll see you again soon for Splashdown. This is Mission Control Houston, sending it back over to Megan and Nicole at the host desk.
Thank you.
Okay, want to say before we get to the the individuals here. I want to say, let's see, Wandering Australia is, gee, I wish the international flights were as quick as this, already over our way. And Tina, who's still with us, saying hi to Wandering Australian, coming in on the Twitch side. And Tina's over on Twitch now. And Wandering Australian saying good day. We've had a very successful launch here. As far as the Artemis rocket launching the Orion spacecraft Integrity into space. Everybody is very busy, a very successful launch. This is the first time since Apollo 17 that we've had a manned mission at this high orbit that they're in. And I guess from what I gathered, they're going to be heading to the moon tomorrow, April 3rd. And as far as that goes, and but they lifted off right around 6:35 p.m., sending 4 astronauts towards the moon. They're in orbit right now, getting their systems all set. The Space Launch System rocket roared to life on Kennedy Space Center, producing 9 million pounds of thrust as it carried the crew aboard the Orion spacecraft, named Integrity, into space. The mission marks NASA's first crewed beyond low Earth orbit. The Dragon spacecrafts that SpaceX launched, they're in a low Earth orbit. This is the first beyond low Earth orbit since 1972, a major step towards returning humans to the lunar surface. Aboard the spacecraft are commanders Reed Weissman, pilot Victor Glover, and mission specialists Kristen Koch and Jeremy Henson. During the 10-day mission, the crews will travel around the moon doing a flyby, but not landing before returning to Earth, testing critical systems needed for future missions. So this is, in essence, technically a space flight. So let's go back here to see what they're talking about here. This is the Artemis crew arriving earlier today.
Getting a beautiful view. Everybody configured with their suits, so in we go. The closeout crew has closed the launch abort system hatch.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff.
And oh wow, what a launch.
Humanity's next great voyage begins.
I can never get tired watching this. And there's Mission Control. They took over from Cape Canaveral, the Kennedy Space Center, launch of the Orion spacecraft on top of the Artemis 2 mission. And I'm not sure if we're going to get any commentary here. This might just be NASA's continuous feed. We'll listen to this for a little bit, and but it looks like for now the Orion spacecraft is in orbit around the Earth, and they're parked right now until tomorrow, where they. Okay, we got somebody up here. I'm not hearing anything, but these are the people that are going to be manning this for the next 10 days. Monitoring the systems, and boy, is it a lot modern compared to the Apollo days. So, but this is in Houston Control.
All right, this is Mission Control Houston. Welcome back for our 24/7 coverage of the Artemis 2 mission. At this time, we are a little more than 1 minute from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. At this time, the Orion spacecraft integrity has been maneuvered into the burn attitude, is pointed in the right direction, and the solar arrays are in the position to take on the loads imparted by the 26-second burn.
Okay, so we're going to have a 20-second burn to increase the perigee.
Now at 1 minute to the perigee raise maneuver.
Perigee raise maneuver, okay.
The teams here are part of the ascent team of the Artemis 2 mission. Now getting our first views from one of the solar array wing cameras over the tracking data relay satellites. We are in a night pass, as we are about a little more than 1,300 statute miles above the Earth, just east off the coast of Madagascar.
Okay, Madagascar. So it hasn't hit over Australia
So we
yet.
have, you can see the Terminator line right just west of the Philippines and the west coast of Australia, where we'll start to get some sunlight again.
So
now we're just
there's where
seconds
it's at
away
right
from
now.
the
It
time
just
of
went
ignition.
flew over Madagascar. I thought it was over Australia, but it's en
We have
route
ignition.
there. Probably going to be flying over Brisbane.
You can see the perigee raise maneuver from the main engine of the ICPS firing from the solar array wing. Standing by for confirmation of cutoff.
Integrity, good PRM, and 1 minute to teeter's handover.
Copy that. We see the same on board, and the sun is rising on integrity.
Outstanding.
And with that, the first burn of the interim cryogenic propulsion system has been completed and put the crew on the right trajectory to get them to the moon.
Houston,
There are
integrity for toilet setup, step 2.5.
Go ahead.
Yes, there was not an installed oxon inlet filter, even with empty oxone in the hose when I opened up the filter.
We have Wandering Australia saying Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yeah, it's heading over your country there, Wandering Australia. It's in the Indian Ocean. It looks like it's going to be coming over there, possibly flying over Brisbane. Who knows? Take a look. Well, it's morning time over there in Brisbane. Currently, what do we have? We have well, it's cloudy skies over in Brisbane right now at 9:27 a.m. in their next day, and 73 degrees Fahrenheit over there. So there's mission control right there. And it looks like that green line on the map there in the back there, it looks like they're right over in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, we had a good perigee raise maneuver that sets us on course to execute the next major burn, the apogee raise burn. Now, the perigee raise maneuver just adjusts the orbit while we are in low Earth orbit, but the apogee raise burn is quite a significant burn, just shy of 18 minutes long.
I'm trying to find the location map that you're seeing in the background there. Usually they have one on NASA, but the NASA page, not really seeing that. But you can see they have a lot of data, a lot of folks busy keeping tabs on a lot of things. And let's see, Wandering Australian says, a perfect sunny day here, so no chance of us seeing it, I reckon. Far too bright. Yeah, that's for sure. I have Brisbane as cloudy skies, 73, but you're saying it's a perfect sunny day there. So I guess my weather indicator on my older than dirt iPad mini. Good to have you here, Wandering Australian, and also all the other folks. And he says, a few clouds, nothing to write home about. Okay.
Integrity Houston on TDRS West. White Sands is receiving data. Houston is not. We're still troubleshooting.
Got ongoing mission radio transmissions and stuff.
That was Capcom Stan Love, part of the Ascent team here in Mission Control Houston. We changed over to point to one of the tracking and data relay satellites at the expected time. That time was updated to 51 minutes, 26 seconds of mission elapsed time, going from TDRS East to TDRS West. Upon switching to TDRS West, Mission Control Houston, not seeing some of the data coming from Orion, coming from Integrity. So we're standing by to regain the ability and troubleshoot some of the rationale as to why we are having some intermittent gaps in our data and communications with the crew. Now, again, as the teams are troubleshooting.
Integrity Houston in the blind. We see good solar normal maneuver. ARB TIG is expected to be 45 seconds earlier than the pad. That's 1 hour, 46 minutes, 0.9 seconds. No update to TIGO yet.
That was Capcom Stan Love here in Mission Control Houston. He used the term "in the blind." That refers to as part of the data that we are not getting from the TDRS West satellite. Noting that we understand that we may not be receiving communications from the crew, though they may be able to hear us. So Stan Love reporting what status is known on our end. We do know that from the data we are receiving that the upper stage and Integrity have maneuvered to solar normal, meaning that the orientation, the attitude of the spacecraft is such that the solar rays can draw the maximum amount of power.
Okay, I guess Tina was laughing at...
Integrity Houston in the blind for Christina. Just before the TDRS handover, we heard your report about the lack of an oxone inlet filter. We copy that there is not one installed as expected, but please put in a new one.
Okay, Tina, have a good night. And Tina's saying she's leaving us now, and I'm going to get ready to wrap this up here in probably next 10 minutes or so. And And thanks, Rich Chow. I'm
Team
okay.
here you
Have a
see
good
in this
night.
row
And she's saying
at the
so long
Capcom
to
console
Wandering Australia
is
there.
NASA
From
astronaut
New Jersey
Stan Love,
to
the
Australia.
voice that you're hearing from the teams here in Mission Control Houston up to the crew of Integrity. A Capcom voice that you'll hear throughout the mission as well. Next to Dr. Love, to his right is Jackie Mahaffey, the Chief Training Officer for the Artemis 2 crew, and a voice that you'll hear from here in Mission Control Houston. Flight Director Judd Freeling is to Stan Love's left. The Ascent Flight Director and leading the teams through the ascent that happened today. And to the left of Judd Freeling is Flight Director Rick Henfling, part of the entry teams here on console to oversee the ascent portion. He'll be returning to console on flight day 9 to prepare for the splashdown on a nominal timeline for flight day 10.
Houston in the blind. We're rebooting some ground equipment to try to recover the link. Expect 10 minutes.
And Wandering Australia say, hoorah! Tina, say good day to Bon Jovi if you see him at the local store. Good one there, Wandering Australian. It looks like from the map it's still flying over the Indian Ocean.
This is Mission Control Houston. Again, the teams here are troubleshooting the lack of a forward link, the inability to communicate with the crew aboard Orion. Teams are troubleshooting and planning to reset some ground equipment as the forward link was dropped at the time that we switched from TDRS East to TDRS West. That happened, that handover period started at mission elapsed time of 51 minutes, 26 seconds. Capcom Stan Love reporting some updates, what is called in the blind, meaning that though we...
Integrity Houston in the blind, expecting an imminent automated swap to string 2 on board. Also, reminder, we are still receiving good ICPS data.
Again, Capcom Stan Love reporting to the crew in the blind, meaning there may be an ability for the crew to hear the calls from the ground. We do know that we are not able to hear any of the crew calls coming from Orion. We did just confirm that we are receiving data from the upper stage, and that allows us to understand and confirm the attitude and orientation of both spacecraft, knowing that they are at solar normal. And with the reboot, we're starting to get some data here. We'll confirm that the data we are receiving is good.
Yeah, there's a live picture of the Orion spacecraft with the solar panels deployed. That's pretty cool right there. I don't know what those white items are there as far as...
With the regain of comm, we're starting to get some views aboard the Orion spacecraft.
Integrity Houston, voice check on TDRS.
Loud and clear, Stan Hollis.
And we now have you the same. Good to hear your voice.
They need to put up an extra
good to hear yours as well.
phone or cell tower at that location.
We are still trying to understand whether the automated swap to S-band string 2 recovered comm for us or what was going on the ground. We gave you calls about an ARB TIG and an Oxone inlet filter. Did you copy them?
Copied all.
Excellent.
This is Mission Control Houston, though the solutions that were applied to regain the communications from Integrity is not known which one worked. We do know that we are receiving data. We're getting confirmation that is updating some of our telemetry that shows that the solar array wings have been reconfigured to the solar normal, again drawing as much power as possible while Integrity is in flight and awaiting the next burn, the apogee raise burn. And you just heard confirmed, though Stan Love was reporting some things in the blind, meaning we could not hear the crew respond to any of the calls that were going on Orion to Earth. We did confirm from Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity that they did hear all of the calls that Capcom Stan Love was reporting.
And Integrity for comm, while we are sorting out the earlier comm loss, we plan to remain on S-band string 2.
Copy S-band string 2, and Quid 19 has been inhibited for right CCD.
Copy Quid 19.
This is Mission Control Houston. Commander Reed Wiseman working through his steps. At this time in the timeline, mission specialists Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen should be closing out some of the procedures that were activating some of the environmental control and life support systems. And again, those steps relayed from Capcom Stan Love were received by the crew, so they did copy them and address any of the feedback that was provided by Capcom Stan Love. The launch and entry suits for Mission Specialist 1 and 2, that's Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen, per the timeline, they are in the period of time to doff or take off the suits. The launch and entry suits for Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover will remain on until after a successful apogee raise burn. Their role is to oversee the successful burn there. In the meantime, they're configuring some of their equipment and configuration that's needed ahead of the day's activities, starting with covering a CCD cursor control device. And they're well on their way to a nominal timeline, of course, addressing the communication link by resetting some ground equipment and changing the string of communications, which addressed the issue, and now we're getting full data from the ICPS as well as the Orion spacecraft.
Integrity Houston, questions for Jeremy and for Christina.
Stan, can you power on the toilet, and then we'll stand by for your words for Jeremy and Christina.
Toilet power up is in work. The questions are, can you confirm the HHP cam has been powered down? And then the question for Christina is whether the urine filter, that's the rubber part, was installed, but just no beads connected.
And that's affirmative. The filter was installed, no beads.
Thank you.
And Stan, we are wrapping up PWD right now. Jeremy will get the HHB cameras after that. There was a tremendous amount of back pressure on all those settings, so it's taken a little bit of all the connectors, so it's taken a little bit of time.
Copy. Thank you.
Commander Reed Wiseman aware of the steps, the initial steps for mission specialists Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen, working on some of the systems inside, while the commander and pilot monitor the flight of Integrity.
Integrity Houston, toilet is powered, waste tank purged.
We copy that, Stan. Thank you.
Some of the equipment inside needs to be activated by flight controllers here in Mission Control Houston.
Okay, that's a good thing. The toilets are working, so they have a working toilet for their trip to the moon.
On their first day in orbit as part of the Artemis 2 mission. While Christina Cook addressed the waste systems that are on board now that they're activated and purged. Jeremy Hansen working on the potable water display.
That's a good one. Wandering
potable
Australia,
water
the old
dispenser,
turn it off and then turn it on again. Yep.
One of his initial steps is to activate the equipment and start filling some bags as a reserve. So he's working through those steps. The HHP camera is one of the internal cameras.
It's good to know they have a working toilet, though.
Integrity. HHP camera was one that was captured through the duration of ascent and recorded into the flight computers.
Go ahead.
Yeah, doubt it helps you at all, Stan. But that whole time that you all had, it seemed like you had a good forward link. We just had no return. We saw a good frame lock, and everything looked good. The only thing we did not have was a good ping. I don't know if that helps you.
And I'm taking it Dunny means toilet.
That helps a lot, Reed. Thank you for that report.
Her along with the other crew members. I'm sure they have a backup system for that, though. Okay, so we got confirmation there from Wandering Australia, coming in from Brisbane, Australia, saying, oh yeah, Dunny equals toilet. So when you're in Australia, you say, where is the Dunny? Gotcha. I learned something here on this, watching this historic space mission begin. We were watching, we watched the launch of Artemis 2, and now we've got a great shot of the one side of the Orion Spacecraft Integrity with the solar panel deployed.
Integrity Houston for SAW.
And we got confirmation they do have a working toilet.
3 brake go into error position. We're confident it engaged, but we saw more motion than we expected during the burn. We are cycling the brake on that SAW.
Okay, Stan, we copy that.
I don't know how that would work with no gravity up there as far as that goes.
HHP cameras are off. Pup 1 switches are off, Stan.
Copy HHP and Pup. Thank you.
I've been trying to look for a local online here, a map of where the Orion spacecraft is. And I think it's flying. It has to right now be flying somewhere over Australia, making a turn to fly over the Pacific to make its first orbit. It's still on its first orbit, I believe. And it takes about, I think it's they're traveling like 12,000 miles per hour, I guess. And I don't know, do we have any, no, they don't have the things on there. But it takes the International Space Station about 90 minutes to make an orbit. So I think this will be the same with the Orion spacecraft. So they're parked in high space orbit, the first time since 1972. A U.S. space mission is above low orbit. The low orbit, by comparison, would be the Dragon spacecraft that SpaceX launches to bring the astronauts to the International Space Station. So we're and it looks like they're just looking at their systems, and this is the first Artemis mission. It was all automatic. There was nobody on board. This is the first manned with astronauts Orion Spacecraft. So and again, I'm pretty stoked on the fact that let's see that if I can show it to you here. Let me back this out here. That on board, there's along with a whole bunch of other people there, there's my name is being carried on a chip. You could sign up beforehand, and what you had is this particular item right here that indicates that my name is on an SD card that has been plugged into a. It's sort of, I saw it. It's like a white ball that they fitted in there in the pocket, and it'll be probably some of the, when we get camera views, they'll show that with there's like a million names, I guess, on it. I don't know how many thousands of names, but this is my ticket that I am virtually on board with my name on that little in the Orion spacecraft. Yeah, astronaut Rich Roberts. Yeah, there's my ticket right there. I did this. I think it was almost a year and a half ago. I did this also for. You could do this through NASA. When they're getting ready to like the last 3 rovers on the Mars. So my name is on a little chip along with a whole bunch of others. I don't know how many thousands, hundreds of thousands or millions of people that signed up via they put it on there. They put it on the spacecraft and it gets launched up to Mars.
Integrity Houston, starting thermal roll.
Okay, sounds like they're starting thermal roll. So I think I'm pretty stoked about that. I forgot I did that. I saw it in my files.
Step 6.7.
So there's that.
Go ahead for step 6.7.
Let's see. Do we have something going on here? Let's check back in. No.
Yes, during 6.7.
It didn't cost anything wandering Australia. You just sign up via their webpage.
Into the funnel.
I just called it. You know, they had it for the rovers, startup, and this is almost a year or 2 years
shut
ago.
Down on its own, and I have a blinking amber fault light.
I don't know if there's a date on that. Let me check.
Copy. Talking about it.
Let me check the documentation here. Let's see, Rumble. Let's see, it's going to be Artemis. Where's the Artemis? Okay, there's the Artemis. Yeah, this is for the Artemis.
And integrity for toilet, we're going to have to think about that for a while.
Yeah,
in the meantime,
this is for the Artemis
CCUs are available in Alpha 2.
Spacecraft Orion, around the moon.
Copy, and I'll be returning the funnel to the cradle.
I guess I earned some mileage too. Mileage earned 685,000 for my name. So it's a boarding pass. It doesn't have a date on it.
Houston, a read back of some of the communications that occurred on Orion to Earth. We're now at 1 hour 17 minutes of mission elapsed time.
And
we got confirmation
the toilet's
that
broke again? Is that what they said?
And Integrity began a thermal roll. They are on the illuminated side of the Earth right now.
Okay, they're on your side. They're in daylight now.
Just a little more than 1,000 statute miles. The thermal roll allows for even distribution of heating from the sun at that altitude. Distributes it a little more evenly ahead of the apogee rays burn. In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Cook working on the activation of some environmental control life support systems and waste management systems. Currently, as teams on the ground analyze some troubleshooting of the activation steps that she was going through, she'll gather some of the backup waste management capabilities that they have aboard Integrity. just as a precaution while the teams assess how to address what was reported down from Mission Specialist Christina Cook on the fault light. Now at mission elapsed time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, we are coming up on the post-launch press conference at the Kennedy Space Center, where subject matter experts have gathered to and will address the launch that just occurred, and media will ask some questions. As part of our continuous coverage plan, where we are streaming this mission 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, throughout the duration of the Artemis 2 mission, the briefings themselves will also be streamed on this platform. The time of the beginning of the press briefing is scheduled to be 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time today. So coming up in just about 6 minutes. While the post-launch press conference is
Integrity, thermal roll complete, and a question for Christina for toilet.
Oh, I guess they are still working the issues.
Ben,
with
just
the
give us
toilet.
a minute, and the view of Australia was epic just now. It's amazing to be at this altitude, and Christina's working hard.
Yep, there's Australia.
And Integrity, we also have a story about a water tank valve problem during powered flight. We saw an anomalous indication on the water ISO valve between water tanks Bravo and Charlie. Based on the signature we saw with the tanks during the PWD checkout, we think that valve is closed. We are going to troubleshoot that going forward.
quick recap. The thermal roll is complete, distributing.
Ben, when you got Equus.N2H2O up, give me a call.
I'm looking at it.
I was just thinking of that. Hopefully,
tab stop
they can
17, we
construct
show that
something,
valve
I think, up
closed, if that helps you.
That is also what we see, and that's exactly the valve we're looking at. Related to that, question for Jeremy. For the PWD checkout, did you check out the primary first or the secondary first?
And Stan, Jeremy says primary first because he had trouble getting the secondary on, and I'm also ready to take your call.
Copy, primary first. We appreciate that. Christina, for the toilet, can you please tell us what the status LED is doing? Or was doing when you saw the fault?
It had been on per normal, and there was good suction, and then it turned off when the fault started blinking.
That's valuable information. Thank you.
Teams on the ground continuing to troubleshoot the waste management systems aboard Integrity. Now we'll continue to follow the mission here as the 4 astronauts work on the steps to activate some of the systems and prepare for the apogee raise burn. About 3 minutes from now, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll start the press briefing. That press briefing will happen on our 24/7 live coverage. While that is happening, you can listen to the Orion to Earth loops
right there
and continue to cover the mission and views from the solar array wing cameras aboard Orion.
I'm not going to be staying
and you can
for the
follow
press
that
conference,
at
so we're going to
our
go ahead and
clean
wind this down
live
here.
stream,
We got 2
also
minutes to the
available
press
at
conference.
NASA's YouTube channel.
And we've been on for over 2 hours and 16 minutes now. So they're parked. They're trying to fix. I guess they had some issues with some gauges on the toilet. I think the toilet's going to work fine. I don't think they have to break out the bucket yet, Wandering Australian. But yeah, they're. I guess they come down. They go across Australia and they curve up. And they're going to go across the up there, curving up across the Pacific, and then coming down across the United States, completing their first orbit. And it looks like, other than mitigating an issue there, and let's see. Get it ready, Rich. Get the bucket ready.
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 1 hour and 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis 2 mission. The Integrity crew, about 800 statute miles over the Earth, currently passing over Australia. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed that pass over Australia, they were able to peek out the windows and see that view,
and they saw
from
the
an altitude
Australian in
that
Brisbane.
is higher than any of them are used to. Jeremy.
Integrity Houston for GNC.
I would say
taking channel 1 to unfiltered and BFS.
Australia. They must be over New
also
Zealand
for
now.
the solar array indication we saw earlier, we think that when the brake originally set, it was like on a tooth, and that when the engine lit for PRM, it slipped one tooth. That brake is now showing nominally.
Okay, Stan, we copy that. And I'm just curious, I feel like about a half an hour ago you took 1 to unfiltered in BFS. Is this nominal or did something happen?
Victor, this is nominal.
Okay.
Okay, folks. We're going to finish up the broadcast here. As far as it's 8 o'clock right now here in the southern tier of upstate New York. And we're going to go ahead and if you want to continue watching this Wandering Australia, just look at the NASA YouTube page. Have a great night, mate. Good to watch along. Yeah, thank you for your view. Appreciate it. I think it was worth the wait till it came over your country, Australia, so I could. I might have saw you waving to it. But our good friends and great allies to the United States, the Australian people are to the United States, and we do appreciate it. They're Wandering Australian, and so yeah, that was me waving. Okay. Was a great pleasure having you here. You spending a little time with us here on the other side. You're already in the into the Thursday here, or no, the Friday. No, Thursday. We're Wednesday night into Thursday. There we go. And let's see. What's today's date? Today's the 1st. I got the wrong date on mine. Okay, I got to change that. Let me change that real quick here. I forgot to change that. Okay, let's. I have the 2nd. It's actually. Let me go ahead and edit that. Ooh, that's not good. I'm thinking today's Thursday. Today's Wednesday. That's right. I had the broadcast this morning. Oh, I'm getting all time mixed up on my. Let's go ahead and edit this time here, or this date. I changed that before I get off of here. Let's see. Going to go. Okay, we changed it on the. Okay, we're going to close there, and we're going to go ahead and I'll change it when I get offline on the Twitch and stuff. But if you want to continue watching this, go to NASA YouTube channel, and they've got a good feed going on. And I want to say thank you. Who do we have in the chat here? We had Tina, our Jersey girl. She was here for the launch. Captain Rehab, he was here. He actually one of the crew members. They went to the same university there, and I'm not sure at the same time or not. I don't know. He wasn't. And I'd like to say thank you to the Wandering Australian, who's just getting his day started over there on a Thursday. We're finishing up our Wednesday. I got a little mixed up here. I was excited for the launch here and stuff like that. But my name is Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich here on the Rumble. and Fireman Rich on most social media platforms. Just Google Fireman Rich, and you'll see where I'm at. And I'm primarily here live streaming on Rumble, and I do appreciate it. And there it is. I also have the Fireman Rich blog, firemanrich.blogspot.com, where I tote myself as a social media observer, social media enthusiast. And I tell you, being able to live stream and see history in the making, I think that's really good as far as one of the good things about this thing called the internet. So you all have a great one, great evening here, wherever you're at, if you're still on a Thursday. And if not, you all have a great one wherever you may be on this big blue marble. And God bless you. Live life. Have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. And again, God bless. And you all take care. Ciao for now, all. And thanks again. Appreciate it.